Okay, hey everybody, 10 Tampa Bay Chief Meteorologist Bobby Deskins. 4 o'clock on Monday afternoon. That's the latest look right there of potential tropical cyclone number 9, PTC9. Not structured enough that it's a depression or a tropical storm, but it's working on it. And so they needed to issue watches and warnings, especially up towards Cancun and Cozumel and the western tip of Cuba. And so they went ahead with the PTC9 nomenclature for today. Now, the center is sitting somewhere right in here. It is not where this convection is on the right-hand side here, okay? And that's one of the reasons why it's a PTC9 and not a tropical depression at this time. Here's some good news. We have recon out there right now, and that's actually good news just probably to me because that is getting data that will go into the forecast models. So we've been, looking at surface maps, that type of thing. That data goes into the forecast models, but this is much higher quality data, a lot more of it. And so after this gets ingested into the models this afternoon and tonight, we'll get better and better runs as we get going, more accurate runs as we get going here the next 24 hours or so. So recon out there, they're coming out from Keesler Air Force Base. Lucky to have what they do there. All right, here we go. This is the track that they issued first thing. It was at 11 o'clock this morning, and they're saying that it becomes Tropical Storm Helene by 8 a.m. tomorrow morning with 45-mile-per-hour winds west of the Caymans, southeast of Cozumel. Now, by Wednesday morning, 75-mile-per-hour hurricane, just barely, 74 and up's a hurricane, but that's by 6 o'clock in the morning. And here's the key. It is coming across very warm water and into the Gulf of Mexico, which has very warm water as well, right? There's a little bit of shear, but mainly on the north side of it, so I don't think it will have a problem getting there. Now, here is the extended forecast. By Wednesday evening, Category 2, 100-mile-per-hour winds, west-southwest to Key West, way over here, okay? Thursday morning, 8 o'clock, here's Tampa. Here we are. That's about 150, 180 miles offshore. 110-mile-per-hour winds. Guys, Cat 3 starts at 111. And this is going to change a little bit, right? Hopefully it gets weaker, but it's going to change. Then you can see landfall is going to be around 5, 6, 7, 8 p.m. Thursday evening, somewhere up in the Big Bend. At least that's the forecast. Let me explain real fast. The cone, see how we're in the cone over here? And the cone goes all the way over there? What that means is that the center of the storm, when you're looking at air over the last 5 years when the Hurricane Center makes all their forecasts, they see how far off they were. And on average, they were off about this distance. So the center could still end up the eye in the Tampa area, or it could end up going way further to the west, which would be brilliant for us. I think this track is a pretty good one. I think it's going to be pretty close to where they have it right now. You can see eventually it does curve up to the north and then eventually the northwest as it moves over land. Here are the forecast models. And you can see most of those are up towards the Big Bend, if not even there, all the way over towards Tallahassee and eventually Pensacola area, okay? So that's the global models, and we'll see what's happening there. This is a look at the European versus the GFS, and we just got the European model stuff in for the afternoon. Look at this. That is really good agreement for Wednesday at 1 o'clock with a storm coming into the Gulf of Mexico. Now let's go out to Tuesday at 2 p.m. That's still really good agreement. Now the green lines are the European. You can see that there. The white are the GFS. Now the GFS has a much stronger storm. But these two are really starting to come together now in agreement, all right? And so that gives you a little bit more confidence. Again, it'd be interesting to get the data from Recon in there now, and that'll be putting out some better model runs as we go into tonight and tomorrow. Look at this landfall, Thursday, 7 p.m., right up there in the Big Bend. Guys, this means for us a ton of wind and water coming in on the backside, right? That would be a surge issue for us Thursday afternoon and into Thursday night, and then things will be clearing out. All right, here's our local forecast model. This is the graph. And for timing purposes, here we go. This is Wednesday afternoon at 6 o'clock, and we already have rain bands come through, right? And there will be a small tornado threat in there as well, but certainly heavy rainfall. Won't last for long, but then it falls apart, and then here we go. We get another rain band. This is around midnight, Wednesday night into Thursday. And then those rain bands will just get more numerous, and we'll get more and more rain. This is 8 a.m. on Thursday. See where the center is. And when they say 100-mile-per-hour winds or whatever it is, it's going to be right out here by the center. It's not going to be out here. But the closer that thing gets to us, obviously, you can see from this forecast with the wind, the more wind you're going to get. Take a look at this right here. This is Thursday morning, around 10 or 11 in the morning. Those highest winds are way out here. See that dark color? But look, we could end up with 40s and 50s, gusts in the 70s and 80s. You know, it's too soon right now to go that far out with it. I'll show you some of these numbers coming up here in just a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about the forecast models here. And you can see some of the timing. So we'll start with that. This is when we expect to see tropical storm force winds. And there's about a 40% chance that we get them along the coast later Wednesday night after 8 p.m. All right, so that means you want to have most of your preps done by sunset on Wednesday. Okay, we're likely to get watches issued maybe even tonight, as early as tonight. If they don't come tonight, they will come tomorrow morning. That would be tropical storm watches, hurricane watches, at least tropical storm watches. And obviously for the coast, the further inland you go, the less wind we will see. Here are the forecast models, some of the ensembles, and you can see they're a little bit further to the west. These are the global models, like the spaghetti plots that we show you. And that's, I tell you what, that's a pretty good agreement that you're seeing there. This is the intensity forecast models. Instead of showing you exactly where it's going to go or it thinks it's going to go, this is showing you where we think it might get strength-wise. Above that red line is Cat 3. Above that line is Cat 2, certainly in the Cat 2 to Cat 3 category here. There are some differences in the models. Obviously, there's a little bit more of a spread on this GFS ensemble. Here's what's happening. You see this trough. We call this a trough right here. You see that? That pulls cold fronts, that types of thing, right? Normally, these things will dip down here and then they'll speed back up. And what it will do is pick a storm up and take it out, right? Watch what this thing does. It breaks a low off. A closed low comes up. Now, the part that really picks up a storm is way up here. It's not down here, which would pull on this. This is our storm right here. The closer this trough is to our storm, the better chance it pulls it up. But it's not. It's going to be way up here. Okay? So watch that little one near Missouri. It's a cutoff low. And it backs all the way south-southwest over Arkansas. So here goes the chance to pick up the storm here. That's why you don't see models coming up and out like that, because they don't see this being able to talk to that, right? What they see is this, right? So they see it coming up towards this, and then they see it coming around this, right? That's what the steering is all about. And watch this as we go through Thursday morning, Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening landfall, and then it starts to turn north and then eventually northwest as it weakens. All right? It gets left behind. The trough cannot pick it up, which I got to admit for us is actually not a bad thing because the chances of it coming further east are less on that particular look, and that would make us have a little bit better luck with it. One more thing before I let you go here. This is a look at the GFS model and the way it has trended. The darker lines here are the most recent runs, and you see it's trended here to the right. So we want this to end up back over here. And again, those runs will keep coming in. I will keep you updated here. Of course, don't forget to follow us on 10 Tampa Bay, all of that. Here's kind of a look at it right now. You need to plan for a hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico by Wednesday morning. But for us here locally, the weather will start to go downhill on Wednesday afternoon into the evening hours, all right? Rain and a little bit of wind. I think the wind's southeast initially. It'll blow offshore, right? Then Thursday morning, the wind starts to pick up. Rain's picking up. Thursday afternoon, the wind is picking up and turning onshore. The water levels are coming up. Check the tide times. We'll have those for you eventually, but there will be a high tide during this cycle Wednesday afternoon into the evening, I'm sure. Numbers. You could say however many inches of rain. The surge, I mean, I don't even want to show you the surge. I've seen anywhere from 5 to 8 feet. So this is something to pay attention to. There will be evacuations likely issued probably late tonight or probably tomorrow morning. If you are asked to evacuate, please do so. All right? Further this moves to the east, the more it means we'll get affected. The further west, the less weather we'll get. All right, guys, that's it. Don't forget to follow me, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll be keeping the updates right here for you and on 10 Tampa Bay. I'll see you at 5 o'clock here in just about 50 minutes with the very latest update from the Hurricane Center. Don't forget our 10 Tampa Bay streaming app, 10 Plus, absolutely free for your phone, for your computer, on your TV. That's the beautiful thing. You can just load it just as an app on your smart TV.